Gripen vs Su-35 or Su-57. Sweden agrees to train Ukrainian pilots on Sukhoi killer Gripen fighter jets. The two cost-efficient aircraft seen as most viable for Ukraine are the ubiquitous US F-16 Fighting Falcon and Sweden's unique Saab JAS 39 Gripen C single-engine tactical fighter tailor-made to operate at low cost and operated from rugged satellite bases, with little maintenance, against Russia's air force. After all, Ukraine has limited resources and must disperse aircraft basing due to risks of Russian missile attacks, and a report by a British think tank calls out the Gripen as by far the most suitable candidate in terms of operational requirements. The United States has agreed that the Allies can send F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. The UK, Netherlands, Belgium and Denmark welcomed the move by US President Joe Biden. The possibility of Sweden transferring Gripen C to Ukraine is very likely, once Ukrainian pilots are trained on Gripen jets. Sweden's defense minister says the country considered letting Ukrainian pilots test its JAS 39 Gripen fighter jets. But Defense Minister Pål Jonson told Swedish broadcaster TV4 that Sweden was looking with a positive spirit at a Ukrainian request to allow its pilots to try out the Swedish plane. That could, for example, mean test flights, using simulators, learning more about the extensive ground system that is part of the Gripen system, Minister Jonson said Thursday. With this context, let's look at what could happen once Swedish Gripen faces off with Su-57 or Su-35. Gripen's super advanced avionics. On April 28, 2020, Saab reported that it had test-flown a gallium nitrate-based AESA of the PS-05A radar family and Raven AESA radar on Gripen C and E fighter aircraft. The benefits of the not only a radar, nor a concept were the provision of improved 370 km long-range tracking as a result of the combination of longer detection range and electronically steered beam control, dominant battle space awareness, track identification through cooperative target recognition, and enhanced jamming capabilities. The AESA radar program was directly linked to multifunction integrated defensive avionics system, which will also add electronic attack and advanced data linking capabilities. Electronic warfare. Saab Arexis advanced escort jamming capabilities let you create a tactical advantage by actively disturbing, deceiving, and misleading your adversaries. The controls in the Arexis air-launched decoy and its network connectivity will detect and suppress the threats, keeping other high-value assets safe. Armaments. Gripen carries the most deadly armaments among all fourth-generation fighter jets and can fire scramjet-powered Meteor BVRAM and AIM-120D AMRAAM long-range active radar-guided air-to-air missiles. On top of that, Gripen carries dogfight missiles such as Iris-T and Osram short-range air-to-air missiles. Gripen also has deadly RBS-15F anti-ship missile, guided bombs, and KEPD-350 Taurus bunkerbuster cruise missiles with a range of 500 kilometers. Thailand's Falcon strike exercises. According to the PLA Air Force, J-11AB, reverse-engineered Russian Su-30, lost beyond visual range and within visual range combat against an older generation Gripen C fighter jet in Thailand's Falcon strike exercises in 2015 and 2019. The overall electronic warfare, networking and avionics architecture of the Gripen C are also substantially more capable than the Su-35 and Su-57. The Gripen C also enjoys better instantaneous kinematic performance or turn rate than the Russian fighter jets because two AL-41F engines bleed energy during tight turn and in dogfights. The Gripen's Volvo RM12 engine, a licensed-built American-made GE F414 engine, provides superior subsonic and supersonic speed even in tight turn without bleeding any energy. Gripen vs Su-35 or Su-57. The Russian Air Forces operates Soviet vintage MiG-29, Su-30SM, MiG-31BM and Su-35 fighter jets remain badly outranged by the radars and weapons of modern Western fighters. Russia so far lost several squadrons of Su-35 and Su-34 fighter bombers in Ukraine war. The lack of identification of friend or foe, networking and data link. Primary reasons: the Russian Air Force did not operate in a formation and operating within occupied territories of Ukraine. Captured Russian pilot Andrei Fedorchukov told Ukrainian officials that Russian Air Force distributed Garmin GPS and Prenibo mobile app to navigate in Ukraine because of the poor quality of Russia's inaccurate GLONASS guidance system. Russia used older generation Su-24 and Su-25 in Syria and Ukraine because the newly built Su-35 lacks precision strike capability due to an erroneous GLONASS guidance system. The most Su-35 fly with older infrared-seeking and semi-active variants of R-27 because R-77 is in short supply. The lack of competent armament puts Su-35 and Su-57 at a significant disadvantage. The AIM-120 and Meteor BVRAM missile outranged the R-77 missiles used by Russia, and multiples could be fired in succession. Russia's domestically delivered production variant Su-57 and MiG-35 are fitted with Soviet-era Gripen C and Zuk-M phased array radar because the Russian prototype AESA radar failed the bench test. In addition to already poor performance, Gripen C is vulnerable to jamming by modern electronic warfare suites owing to a smaller bandwidth, which you can tell from inferior SR resolution. Especially against a Gripen as an adversary with a capable AESA radar offering not only a superior range but also being highly resistant to DRFM jamming from Su-35's L-175V Kibani. Intense lobbying by Ukrainian President Zelensky: it's highly likely Ukraine will receive an upgraded Gripen C from Sweden, funded by the UK and the US. When Su-57 and Su-35 take off from Belarus and Russia, Gripen's long-range AESA radar can detect and discriminate Russian fighter jets and target those jets with 250 km ultra-long-range Meteor BVRAM and shoot them while approaching Ukrainian airspace. Once Gripen shoots down several Su-35 and Su-57, it will end the future of the struggling Russian Air Force and deter them from operating any sorties over Ukraine. Thanks for watching.
Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Instagram.